Soon you'll have to sell everything because forces are in motion. Bitcoin dipped just barely below its previous all-time high. ETH fell shy of $4,000. The market is jumping from greed to extreme greed every single week, and all of this is happening despite the global response being weird around crypto. Like, it's pretty indifferent about all of this, even with cryptos breaking record after record. But remember, people are going to wake up and billions of dollars are going to flood into this market. That's when the real historic bull run is going to pop off and those life-changing 10, 20, 100x fortunes are going to be minted. But none of that means anything if you don't know when to sell. Because if you don't know when to sell, you will lose everything. This is my crypto portfolio over the last year. I'm up $400,000. That's Lambo money. I don't take that lightly. I've been doing quite well and my win rate has been extremely high, but none of that will ever matter if I don't take profits along the way. Which, if you've been following me for a while, you know I always make sure to take profits. In fact, you could have had access to every single buy, sell, and move I've made over the last year if you were just a member of Finova, my membership group. And those same profits would have been yours. So if you're interested in having the inside scoop on the next moves that I make, check out the link in the description. There's limited spots available. Now in this video, I'm going to give you all my game for free. I'm going to show you the 2 traps that will absolutely annihilate your profits. How to create your own personal exit strategy so you actually leave in the green. I'm going to show you the exact time you need to take profits, how to avoid the mistakes that wipe out 99% of traders, and I'm going to show you step by step my exact strategy for taking maximum life-changing profits during this bull run. Avoiding trap number 1. This is extremely important. 99% of crypto investors rock into the market a little bit like this. No plan. Check. Hyped up. Check. Possessed by greed. Check. Rampant, wild speculation. Check, check. And then they just lose everything. The market dumps on them and turns them into someone else's profits. Check. They fell into the liquidity trap. Your exit strategy has to counter this. And the math for doing this is so simple. You have to be better than 99% of crypto investors. Otherwise, you're just going to join the 99% as liquidity. So how do you do it? First, have a plan for the exact amount of gains that you're looking for. Most people, they don't make money in crypto because they just ride the bull wave too long. The reason they never get off the ride is they never define where they actually want to go. Imagine hopping on the bus and you're just like, well, I'll just see where this goes. No one does that. Why would you do that in crypto? It's insane. The truth is, nothing good lasts forever, especially not a crypto pump. And most people only learn that lesson after it's too late and they lost everything. You should be one of the few people who that never happens to. Learn from other people's mistakes, please. By having a plan, you have a cutoff point. This is the point where you ride the wave, it comes to an end, you just get off the bus. Get off the bus, get off the wave, whatever you want to call it. Depending on the trade, that point might be as small as a 2% gain. That's a pretty common target exit point that I go for with my quick little in and out scalp trades like these. 1.3% gain, 2.6%, 3.6% profits. That makes sense for a little day trade, but your cutoff point might be much higher, like 20% gains, 100%, 400%, 1,000%, whatever it is, that's where you cash out no matter what. No matter what, you leave with profit. You won the game. I can't stress how important this is. It is so obvious. If most people don't leave with any profits, your sole goal should be to keep your profits. Now, of course, this is all easier said than done because you'll always think, when you see those gains in your portfolio, you're going to think, man, what if this just keeps going up? Greed can win so easily here. So here's a little trick that I use to help battle that internal greed. I like to remind myself that the S&P 500 returns on average 8% a year. So if I make a trade and it earns more than 8% in less than a year, I should be very happy with that return because I literally just beat the market. Now, another way you can make this even easier is utilizing tools. Use these tools to protect your profits. Most people rely on one thing they should never trust: themselves. Human error is so real and yours will come for your crypto profits every single time. Greed, irrationality, chasing new all-time highs even though you've passed your 400% gains rule. Suddenly you're caught in a sell-off. I want to help you avoid that because it's so avoidable, especially with the right tools. Limit orders let you sell an asset when it hits a target price, whatever target price you want. So let's say you set up a goal profit point of 50% gains. You can set a limit order to automatically do all of that execution for you. So you don't even have to think about it. Even better, let's say you're sleeping, it happens in the middle of the night, there's some kind of big pump, it'll make that sale for you. It's amazing. That means you're guaranteed to sell no matter how much human error just wants to grab you. Now just remember, it's almost impossible to take profits without a plan. So set a fixed target and use those tools to help lock you into that plan. Now here's trap number 2. Charlie Munger, I'm a huge fan of him. He once said, smart men go broke in 3 ways: liquor, ladies, and leverage. The three L's. Now, I'm not here to comment on your habits in drinking or your bedroom habits, but I'm here to talk about your profits. So let's talk about leverage. Leverage lets you put a small amount down to trade much larger amounts. In crypto, it can be insane, like up to 100x or more leverage. Insanity, meaning your returns can also be equally insane. If you want to maximize your profits, this is an amazing strategy, right? Just 100x your gains by doing 100x leverage. I mean, it can be, but only if you've mastered setting up all of your safeguards in your trading. For nearly everyone, any amount of leverage is a pretty bad idea. Like, learn to win so consistently without leverage before you ever even consider doing leverage. Like, to the point where you're so consistent that you really don't even need leverage in the first place because you're already making so many gains. That's when you should maybe consider leverage. For everyone else, don't even consider it. Leverage simply just exposes you to way more risk because your losses are magnified as well as your potential profits. So part of your strategy for taking profits needs to be to minimize your exposure to risk whenever possible. Avoiding leverage is the simplest way to do this. The extra profits from leverage, sure, they're tempting, but if it goes wrong, you're going to be wiped out. You'll be overexposed to huge losses and just left holding the bill. Don't let that be you. So let's start building an exit strategy for maximum profits. If Spider-Man didn't have his spider sense, do you know what would happen? He'd get shot in the head. Bang. Like, no more Spider-Man. It's that simple. But he does have his spider sense, so he dodges the bullet. Crypto, it's similar. Not quite as cool, but it's similar. Let me explain. At the start of this video, I said the global response to Bitcoin's recent activity and it just pumping and breaking all-time highs has been pretty muted. Like, the world doesn't really care yet. Retail and institutional money is going to flood into the space, causing pumps all over the place. But what will the retail money see? They're going to see an ocean of different coins. They're going to start hearing about narratives, AI, gaming, metaverse. They're going to discover a whole community of investors with confusing memes, but it's too late for them. The bullet is going to hit them in the head because all the other investors already have their spider sense, which in crypto is called market awareness. They understand bull runs, timing, Bitcoin behavior. They understand it far better than your average retail player will be able to outperform the mini. It happens every single time. They shoot them in the head. They take their profits. It's brutal, but that's how the game works. I'm just trying to show you the rules. If you're in crypto, you want to be one of the few who's making money. That's what I'm trying to show you. So if you want a profit maximizing exit strategy, you need to have that tuned spider sense. You need to have a solid market awareness. And here's how you start. Understand the crypto market cycle. Crypto has patterns of behavior. To take profits, you need to understand those patterns. The easiest way to do this is to look at graphs. You need to check this out. The rainbow chart tracks Bitcoin's price with market sentiment. Historically, it's been useful for predicting when to take profits. Based on this graph right now, that point is rapidly approaching. There's tons of other graphs you can look at as well. Each one will give you a broader market awareness. There's one for fear and greed, the golden ratio, profitable days, you name it, there's probably a graph for it. You must have your ear to the ground if you want to outperform the average investor. Now understand the bots as well. Market awareness, it isn't limited to boring graphs. You can also look at boring tweets, like this one. The Coinbase app rank bot. This shows where Coinbase is ranking on the App Store. Now, why is this important? Because when retail investors start flooding in, the Coinbase app is going to get more and more downloads because that's where newbies go. They go and download Coinbase. That's the easiest entry point. So when Coinbase hits #1 or near #1 on the App Store, it's time to consider cashing out. The reason why is simple. When everyone thinks an investment is good or even an investment category is good, the gains are generally already made. So when your Uber driver or your weird cousins start talking your ear off about crypto again, start being a little skeptical about the market. Maybe start taking profits at that point. Now you need to understand one more Bitcoin graph. The Bitcoin MV/RV Z-score. Terrible naming, useful chart. It'll help you understand whether Bitcoin is overvalued or undervalued. It's also been able to predict the market high within 2 weeks, so it's pretty useful. This all can help you get a sense of whether now is the right time to take your profits and run, or perhaps wait off for a higher threshold. Like the other charts, there's a guide on how to use this below the chart. Just don't be a dummy, use the guide, build your market awareness. Determine an strategy. Sometimes the market doesn't make sense. The market will violate everything you know about it. No new information will show up to help your certainty. You'll basically be in the dark and you'll have to make some decisions. When that happens, you need an strategy. This is a price that's either a loss or a gain that you will accept without any new information. When the market is blind, when risk is high, this is the price that you'll take. Maybe that's a quick 50% gain and you hit the sell button. Or maybe that's a quick 20% loss due to some big news event that you think could get a lot worse and you sell. Look at your coins and come up with a game plan for outlier events, before it happens. That way, when that event happens, you're ready to go, you have your plan, you're willing to either take profits or cut your losses, whatever makes sense in that scenario. But make that decision while you have a cool head. If the other tools are about building awareness, this will help you act when there's nothing to go off of, when you're just out in the dark, securing whatever money you've made or minimizing your losses as much as possible. Think of it like pulling the ripcord on your parachute. It's an escape pod. Now, another simple way to cover your downside losses is to set up a stop loss. Now, let's say a crypto token you're holding is at $10 right now. You can set up a stop loss where if the price drops 5% from that starting $10 point to $9.50, your position automatically sells. The downside here is if the price goes from $10 up to $12 and then back down to $9.50, you just missed out on all the upside gains of that $12 price. The solution there is setting up a trailing stop loss. Again, let's say your token is at $10. With the trailing stop loss, you can set it up where your position will sell once the price drops 5% or 10% or whatever you want from the all-time high price. So if the price goes from $10 to $12, but you have a 5% trailing stop loss set up, your position will automatically sell once the price drops 5% from the all-time high of $12, meaning you just sold at $11.40 instead of at $9.50 with that regular stop loss. That can be a massive difference in the amount of gains that you actually get to take home. All of these help you understand the market and pick a smart exit point. Don't get hit by the bullet. Dodge it, like the Matrix or something. But we're not done yet, because it doesn't always make sense to sell your entire position. And to continue with the superhero theme that we've been threading through this video, here's a bit from the first Batman movie. Not that one. No, not that one either. Yeah, that one. Where the bad guy says,
"Time to spread the word," and the word is panic.
One thing I've noticed is that when new investors decide to sell, they panic. They sell everything. They cash out in one big event, and this makes sense if they timed it perfectly, but that's rarely the case. There's another option here. I call it chunking. Building off the earlier idea of setting a profit goal and then selling once you hit that goal, you can sell in chunks along the way, kind of different layered profit goals along the way to your end goal, your big goal. For example, you could sell 20% of your stake when it hits 50% gains, sell another 20% when it hits 100% gains, sell a further 20% when it hits 150% gains. This spreads out your risk and allows you to capture profits incrementally at varying levels while still getting more upside potential if the price keeps on going up, which again, you can set this up to happen automatically with the use of limit orders and creative stop losses. Now, all of this brings me to my personal strategy. My strategy is a mix of everything we've talked about. For my general positions, I'm going to actually set a Bitcoin price target of 100K. When it hits that, I'm chunking out across all of my positions. I begin taking small incremental profits. But why base it on Bitcoin? Well, historically, when Bitcoin pumps, the market pumps with it. When it crashes, the market crashes. 100K is a significant milestone where the market will be shaken up a bit once it hits that price point. However, there's a caveat. If any of my tools indicate that I need to sell earlier or later, I will adjust my plan because market awareness is always king. The point is to have a game plan, but be willing to change your game plan as new information comes, as long as you're making decisions with a cool head. The point is to never make a decision when you're like frantic, like what's going on? Now, I'm also keeping an eye on altcoin rips and meme coins. These can act a little bit different. They could pop off to huge 10x plus price spikes. So I'm putting specific price targets into those coins as well. With small cap altcoins like meme coins, you might even want to consider selling all at once during a big price spike. And that is unless there's some kind of more substance to the meme than your typical meme, which there's a few of them out there that do that. Your strategy, though, doesn't have to be complicated. Nothing in this video is, but it will require forethought. Your personal strategy can be as simple as if the price goes up 10%, I sell 10% of my position. Whatever works for you. The most important thing is that you simply have a plan and you stick to it. Now, maybe you're watching this and you like the ideas, but you need more coins to check out. Well, I got you covered. Check out this video on screen. Bye.